Welcome back! In this video we're going to take a look at the top 5 budget site alternatives to Aliexpress. So in case you didn't know, Aliexpress is an online shop where you can buy just about anything. The shop is based in China and is actually made up of a lot of individual sellers, so it's a bit like a cross between Amazon and eBay. And Aliexpress is a really great way for people outside of China to get hold of Chinese-made products at really good prices. Things like electronics, clothes, just about anything. Now I'm going to leave a link down below to a guide I made a few years ago for shopping at Aliexpress. I'm going to make an updated one soon, but in this video I'm going to give you 5 alternatives to shopping at Aliexpress, because you should always shop around to get the best price. So at number 5 we have Alza.co.uk. Now this company is actually based in the Czech Republic, and occasionally it pops up in a Google search if I'm looking for a particular product, and you'll find some amazing prices on there. Now there isn't as much choice as Aliexpress. They only actually have 5 categories, and I'll have to read them off this list. There's electronics and home, toys, fragrances and watches, hobby and garden, and sport. Now there's free delivery on Alza when you spend over £250, but normally it's £6 for 1 to 3 day express delivery. Occasionally you can find the odd voucher code to get free delivery. And obviously because the Czech Republic is in Europe, if you live in Europe there'll be no tax or import duty to pay if you buy from Alza. So it's definitely worth checking out alza.co.uk to see if the item you want is there for a cheaper price. At number 4 we have Gearbest.com. So like Aliexpress, Gearbest is actually based in China, and they have free delivery on most items except for really heavy, really expensive items. Also like Aliexpress, Gearbest sells just about anything. I personally prefer the shopping experience on Gearbest. It's more like shopping on a regular sort of online shop like Amazon. Aliexpress is quite a bit more complicated. There's things like you get a certain price for if you buy a certain number of units. On Gearbest it's really straightforward. You just see a product, you get a price, and you decide to buy it or not. And because it's coming from China, in 2 or 3 weeks it arrives on your doorstep. And as with all of the websites I'm going to give you in this list, don't just assume that the prices are cheap. A lot of them are, but it's really a fantastic idea to just compare maybe the 5 different websites that I'm giving you in this list to see which one actually offers you the cheapest price. Because actually a lot of websites are actually not making any money. They might even be making a loss because they're giving you a really good price. But then they're sort of relying on you to buy their more expensive items to sort of cover those costs. So don't fall into that trap. Only buy the cheapest items. At number 3 we have BangGood.com. Now BangGood.com is almost identical to Gearbest. In fact, if you looked at them and you didn't know either of them, you might think they were the same website. But they are different, so it's just another option to check to see if they've got a good price. Gearbest, Aliexpress and BangGood.com don't sell branded items. You're not going to find Lego, you're not going to find Mac products on those websites. But you will get familiar with the Chinese brand names such as Xiaomi and Lenovo. At number 2 we have eBay. So this might seem really obvious. You maybe have been using eBay for sort of 15 years, but some people haven't, and maybe some people don't realise that actually you can buy almost anything from eBay. It doesn't have to be somebody's used crap. It can actually be brand new products at really good prices. As a general rule, eBay is probably better for buyers than it is sellers because eBay has a buyer's protection policy. So if anything goes wrong or you claim anything goes wrong with your purchase, eBay will sort it out for you. So as I said, you can find just about anything on eBay, and I have actually made a review series of tips and scams and things for eBay, and I'll leave a link to a playlist for that down below. So at number 1 we have Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace. So again, this might be really obvious to some of you, but certainly I know for me, I've only started using Facebook Marketplace and Gumtree within the last sort of 6 months. I just sort of thought they were a crap version of eBay and I kind of ignored them. But the advantage is that Gumtree and Facebook are free to list and free to sell platforms, so you don't have to worry about paying eBay fees. So the way this usually works is you're selling locally and people either come and pick things up from your house or you go and buy things directly from their house. Now you can always contact a seller and ask them to post you an item, but generally because there's no buyer protection on Gumtree, you're better off dealing face to face. Now, because there are no fees for sellers to pay on Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace, the prices should be quite a bit cheaper. Now, this isn't always the case. In fact, I've seen some crazy prices on those marketplaces. But there are some good prices, and it is a platform where you're supposed to haggle. You're supposed to send a message to a seller and say what's the cheapest you'll take for this item. And as well as really cheap prices, there are some real surprises on there as well. I have a friend who actually got a completely free cooker from Gumtree, and it's working just fine. He's still using it today. Now, while there are a lot of strange items on Facebook and Gumtree, you're not going to find the large selection of things that you'd find on Aliexpress or eBay. They're generally things like clothes, toys, and there's a lot of furniture on there. But you're unlikely to find that replacement button for your jacket or an air filter for your car. But it's definitely worth taking a look on those websites if you're after a new 3-piece suite or something. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it's given you some information about budget shopping sites that you didn't know about. If you like this sort of video, please click like. Please also subscribe if you want to see this kind of video in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.